Hey, Frank Thomas here. I've got an interesting video for you here today. I was talking to somebody I work with about what's the best way to prosper? What's the best way to take your talents and do something with them? Today, we're going to explore that idea. Stay tuned. So, hey, as I alluded right in the beginning there, we're going to be looking at different ways you can explore your talents and use them to your best effect. Now, one of the first things I'm going to say is you're going to see I'm a little relaxed today, a little unshaven, a little taking it easy, and that's okay. You know, it's Saturday morning, and we're just going to have a calm and mellow conversation. I'm not going to take too much time here, but I really want to share this with you guys. I think it's really important. One of the things that I'm approached with all the time is because I'm a developer and I do lots of software development stuff like that. Hold on, here, a small technical challenge. There we go. Because I do software development and that, what happens is I'm approached all the time because they know I've ran a business. I still run a business, and they ask me, what's the best way? What's the best way? Well, I found three ways to prosper as a developer, and I think it's going to be the same with everything because I've actually built products other than software. I've built courses and stuff like that, and I've done really well with that as well. So I think it doesn't really matter about that, but let me just tell you three ways. The very first one is get a skill, get a job. Okay, going out. I went and learned how to program on UBot Studio about 10 years ago now, and started making bots, and never really got a full-time job with it at that point in time, but I could have. I and eventually moved over to learn how to do C Sharp, a lot of packages there, creating software, ASP.NET, you name it, I've touched a lot. But, the most safest way, in my opinion, is to get a job, J-O-B, okay? But you got to remember, J-O-B, unless you're wise, means just over broke. You'll find that you'll spend what you make. And employers, they got to be smart, and they want to make sure that they pay their people reasonably, but not too much. And because they don't want to go out of business too, trying to pay you. So, easiest way, number one, get a job. It's the easiest way, in my opinion. You get the skills, you get a job, work for the man. It's all good, and there's nothing wrong with that. Right now I'm doing that, kinda. Second thing is the kinda. Second thing is to same thing, get the skills and run your own business and become a contractor. And what you do is you contract your services to various people. Okay. Now the unique thing about this is that you make more money as a contractor normally than you do as a full-time employee. Why? Because you carry more risk. How long are they going to employ you? Is your contract going to go the full term, or is it going to go longer? Are you going to get paid? That one there is the big one. I did a contract with somebody, and I'm ashamed to say I got burned for about 40,000 Canadian. And it is what it is. It was a good contract, and while they were paying, it was great. But they ran into financial issues, and they basically let everybody go, owing a lot of money to a lot of people. I'm guessing in the millions of dollars, and I was one of the people they owed, and there you go. But that's the inherent risk of a contractor. But the upside is a lot of times you dictate your own hours, as well as you can dictate how much you make. Okay, and you usually make more. Usually at least 10% more than somebody who's working as an employee. Now, another downfall is you got to deal with your own taxes. You have to deal with, sorry, I'm just getting over a cold. You have to deal with getting your own benefits if you want benefits, and I recommend that you do. You put all these things in place, and it's not so bad. You got to deal with your own bookkeeping. So if you want more of a challenge and learn how to run a business, 2 is a good option. I've done it for over a decade now. And the third one, which I like the most, but I'm not going to lie to you, it is the hardest by far. Sometimes you fall into the butter and you just get it. Sometimes, but most of the time you don't. And even if you do fall into the butter, normally it doesn't last. And that third one is to actually take your time, get the skills, learn how to do something, build a product, sell the product. Now, there's a lot of difficulties there too. You have all the difficulties of a contractor with one missing, and that's you get paid in advance. And to me, that's a huge benefit. You know, if somebody buys a piece of my software, they pay $30, $300, whatever I decide to charge for it, and it's theirs. I put licensing against it to protect it, so if they decide they want to get a refund or something like that, I shut the license off, and they don't have access to the software anymore. And that's fine. Same with the course. If I build courseware, I remove their access to the courseware if they want a refund. Now, I get very few returns, but I believe in high product quality. There's a lot of stops and checks there, and a lot of things to learn. Again, this is another learning process. You have so much more to learn. Getting a job is the least amount of learning. Building your own product is the most amount, because you don't only have to learn the skills, you have to learn how to run the business, but then you have to learn how to manage your products. Okay, and that's feeding, caring, licensing, the whole 9 yards, you know, of your products. So it is the most profitable. Now, another downfall of the third option is you have to get people buying your software. In other words, you have to find people who will be interested in your software and interested in getting involved with your software. Now, that's a tough one. That could be very tough. There's lots of ways to do it, but to be perfectly honest with you, it can be really hard, but it can be really, really profitable. The most money I've ever made at any time is through development of products. I actually have products I built years ago that are still paying me on a monthly basis, and it's a nice little chunk of change on the side. You know, yes, right now I'm contracting full-time for a company, but I'm also allowing these products to pay me, and this is my vacation pay, my holiday pay. My wife and I are going to go, hopefully, I'm hoping for a month in March next year on a huge trip, and the sales of the product in that are going to pay for that trip. You know, so it's going to be an expensive trip, I'm going to tell you. But, you know, you really have to think about this. Now, I eventually want to develop, and I'm not trying to sell you anything, to be perfectly honest with you, but I know people are going to be interested in this, but I want to develop a full 1, 2, 3 things you got to learn. I've actually developed the first part of this already, and I'm about to release it, and I'll share more details in the near future. But on how to get there. Now, what's my recommendation? And I think this is the most important part of this whole video. How do I get there, and what I want to do? I recommend option 3 by far, but I'm saying it's the hardest. This is how you do it. You start it with option 1 or 2. Okay, option 1 is the best. Get a job, get some experience in your chosen field. Let them pay to let you learn. Use that job. You know, of course, you're definitely helping them. That goes without saying. They get value from you. But let you get value from them. They're paying you regularly every 2 weeks or every month or every week or whatever it is. Money's in the account. Your bills are covered. That's a huge burden off your shoulders. But what you do is you let them show you or give you the ability and the time to learn the skills you're going to need to get to option number 3. As you build your skill up, you'll want to start building skills in other areas. Now, don't ever shirk your primary response, which is either your contract or your job. Okay? Make sure you give them 150% of who you are and what you can do for them. Always. I always believe that. But use a little bit of your time. Yes, you're going to have to use some of your own time. If you want to get paid for something you've done, you got to use some of your own time. It's part of the price. And I recommend picking up a small contract in a slightly different area. It might be, hey, helping somebody build a membership site so I can lock my course down. Or it could be building a piece of software for somebody and learning how to license it. Again, you're using that contract to help you learn. Now, the lights are never going to be green all the way through town. You're going to hit red lights. It's going to happen. Everything's going to take longer than you thought it was going to take. But you just keep driving down that road. You'll still keep going. You're going to hit a red light every once in a while. You're going to have a detour every once in a while. That's fine. But the fact of the matter is you continue to get down that road. What's going to happen is you're eventually going to try a small product. Now, you're not going to want to build your version of Photoshop or your version of Microsoft Word or something like that. That's not what I'm saying. You find a product that fits and fills a need that you feel is not being satisfied properly. Make sure you find that need and you find that you can get a crowd and you get people interested. Sell your idea before you build it, okay? Now, if you find that you have interested people to get involved and want to buy your product or help you affiliate it to sell it, you might have something there. Now, you build the product. Take your time, build it, do it right. Again, you have to do 200% when you're building a product and launch it. Now, it will take time, more than you thought, more than you want to spend. But then what happens is you start gaining that secondary income. Now, don't go spend it. It's not part of your salary. It's not part of your JOB, your job. This is your extra money. Use this to invest into something for yourself in the future, more education, maybe for a big holiday. Now, yeah, you are spending it there, but it's just not turning into indiscretionary money you're spending every month. That's my point. Because then all of a sudden, if that goes away, you miss it, okay? My biggest recommendation is to use that to build yourself a slush to cover the things that happen in life, or to build a nest egg, or to have money to bring somebody else in and help you, because that's how you start building a real business. So things to think about. So, I'm going to wrap up now because I could continue on for hours on this topic because to me it's near and dear to my heart. So the 3 ways to recap: get a job. It's okay. Become a contractor. It's a little harder, but you're going to live on more money. And 3, learn how to develop products. By far, I think number 3 is the best option. And use them in combination. Use the power of the 3 together to help you get to where you want to be, okay? And know that it's going to take time. Like I said, it took me almost a decade to get a product that really took off. Now, I was not that wise. I decided to just jump out of my job, and I had a large slush built up. I should have been a little wise. I should have used that slush to bring people on that could have been experts to help me along and speed things up, But that's a whole different topic. Hope this video's been helpful. Be sure, as always, to subscribe and hit the little bell icon in YouTube. That way you can get notification whenever I put another video out. And stay tuned because I want to help you out. It's my heart to help you become the best of who you can be. So again, thanks so much. This is Frank Thomas, and have yourself an excellent day.